NASCAR was back this weekend with a race around the Richmond, Virginia Raceway for the Cookout 400. So as always guys, I'm bringing you 5 things that we learned from this race, and oh boy, was it a controversial one. And don't worry, we will talk at some length about the incidents towards the end of the race. But yeah, let's have a look through this race. Let's go through what happened, and in order, the 5 things, the 5 main highlights after NASCAR's, what was it, 4-week break? It's been a while, hasn't it? But I'm glad NASCAR is back, albeit in controversial circumstances. So in the first stage, we had Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. on the front row. Truex Jr. is still looking for that first win of the season. One of the drivers that I highlighted in our 5 drivers to look out for video ahead of this race. You know, even though he is in a good position in the championship, he doesn't have that win, so he's at a big disadvantage when it comes to actually getting into the playoffs. Despite that, it was a good battle between these two in the early stages. Hamlin eventually took the lead, but then Chris Bell was absolutely on a mission. He was tearing through the field. He eventually got the stage 1 win, some fantastic pace from him. Truex and Hamlin actually, though, later in that first stage did have a bit of contact. They are meant to be teammates. They had a bit of a clash there, nothing too severe, nothing as severe as what we saw later in the race either. But yeah, Bell getting the first stage win there in the Richmond, Virginia race. But there was drama for Bell in the stage 1, stage 2 break. There was contact with the number 43 in the pits. He ended up spinning the 43 out. A bit of damage on Bell's car. Nothing that preventing him from continuing in the race. But yeah, just an interesting difference between the rules between, you know, a lot of racing series and NASCAR. You know, you can have contact like that in the pits and then it's not a penalty. But again, don't worry, there's much more controversial contact with no punishment as I make this video for that driver at fault there. But yeah, Buescher as well. I mean, they were sitting in the pits because it is quite a small track, the Virginia Richmond Raceway. And because of that, we did see some mistakes from some guys in the pits. I mean, yeah, there was Bell with that drama there. Also, Chris Buescher, he missed his pit box under green flag running. And Martin Truex Jr. was dropped from the jack with not all 4 of his wheels attached. The rear left, I think it was not on properly. Surprisingly, no puncture for that either. But yeah, they managed to get the tyres on eventually as well. I want to mention the tyres as well because we tried out a new tyre kind of philosophy really with NASCAR. We had the options and the prime tyres, which is kind of similar to what we used to have in Formula 1 many years ago, and also very similar to what we have in IndyCar now with the stickers and the regular tyres. Basically, the option tyres, for those that don't know, are faster but they wear out quicker, and the prime tyres are harder but they last slower but they last longer. So because of that, most people were on the prime tyres during the second stage, but Daniel Suarez had a different idea. He actually stuck it out on the option tyres. Same with Michael McDowell. He tried the same thing, but McDowell started further down the field, so he couldn't quite make up as much ground as Suarez. But Suarez, because of that alternate strategy, won stage 2, which I believe is his first stage 2 victory since 2022. Obviously, he did win a race earlier this year, but yeah, first stage 2 win in over 2 years for him. So yeah, great for him. But yeah, 4th thing we learned, and especially with the winner of this race, who I will get to very shortly, Martin Truex Jr. is at serious risk of missing out in the playoffs. And after today's results, he is in 8th position overall in the standings, which, you know, normally would be more than enough. I believe it's top 16 or top 15 that make it to the playoffs. I always get mixed up with that. I believe it's top 16. But because of the way that the points are organised, it's not just your overall championship standing points, it's also how many playoff points you get, and you get playoff points by winning races. Truex Jr. has still not won a race this season yet, and that continued because he had an engine failure. A Toyota engine failure is something that has been a problem for that manufacturer recently. He is hitting the worst form at the worst time for him, unfortunately, dropping out from this race, and I believe he was the only mechanical retirement of this race as well. But the winner of this race was none other than Austin Dillon, which is not a bad thing in itself. You might think, oh, that's great. The guy that was I think 32nd in the standings before this race. I think he's up to 26th now, so he's jumped up quite a bit. He's still way down. I think he's the lowest ranked winning driver this season by some margin. I think Cindric is the next one in 20th. But yeah, the way he won today was, yeah, it made, for me personally, and I'm gonna do a longer in-depth video because this is something that has been a very controversial issue in the NASCAR fandom from what I've seen online. Basically, what happened is that, it's fair play to him, he was up there, he was battling with Logano, he got past Logano, he was battling with Hamlin, and Hamlin eventually took the lead back from him. But there was a late restart for contact, and just with a few laps to go, I think it was 2 laps to go, they had to run. Logano took the lead from Dylan, and the commentators predicted this. They said that, you know, there's going to be contact here between these two. Dylan is going to make contact with Logano, trying to get the lead, and that's exactly what he did. He made contact with him, took him out. This slowed up Dylan as well. Going through the last corner, Hamlin saw his opportunity. Hamlin had the momentum, but Dylan then swiped out of the race as well, and then he took the win. As I record this, there is no punishment for Dylan. There is no punishment for Dylan at the moment from NASCAR. If that's in any other racing series, he's getting a massive penalty for that, because he's essentially took out both of his rival drivers, and this really does set a dangerous precedent. And some of the old school NASCAR fans have no problem with this, because, you know, it's what they used to do back in the day. You know, the irony of Dylan driving the number 3 car, which is of course the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt Sr., his car from back in the day, is not lost on me, and that's something I did very much notice, and a few people have likened to. But NASCAR has moved on. NASCAR is meant to have moved on, so it's a very controversial issue. But no matter what you think of it, it does shake up the playoff picture enormously, having him in it. But let's see what happens with that. Let's see if NASCAR do anything with it. But I will do another video on that issue itself, because I've seen some very interesting comments, some interesting viewpoints from both sides of the kind of opinions on this. So I will bring you a video on that on the same day as this video goes out. Probably go up at exactly the same time if you're on Microsoft. If you're on YouTube, it'll be up later in the day. I'll probably upload it in the evening time so the American audience can get it as they have their lunch probably at work. So yeah, and let us know what you thought about this race in the comments below, guys. Keep it PG though, keep it friendly if you can, please. And yeah, we'll be back very soon with hopefully less of a controversial race at the next venue. We've just got 3 more races to the playoffs now. The next race is in Michigan, I believe. Yes, the Brooklyn, Michigan Raceway. So yeah, see you soon, guys.